is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome to the discussion for Holi, a festival of color, which is Floodgate's newest game that I backed on a whim because I love Floodgate, because they made Sagrada and Vault Wars and News at 11. So yeah, they are a company that I pretty much will back whatever they do, because I think they make cute, fun, kind of puzzly games that aren't too much, and this one is no different. Holi is a blast. Mm-hmm. And it gives me that Sagrada feel, mm-hmm. where it's like, okay, there's a puzzle nature with the cards of where you're having to place, and then it's like, oh man, should I ascend up and try and get more points on the different levels? Mm-hmm. But I have to be smart about where I place, because otherwise, if I move up, I can't move back down, and all my paint just keeps dripping and falling through.
Too much drip.
But I got the one thing I do have to say real quick is that this is way better with more people. 2, it's okay, but you're not you can pretty much play any card mm-hmm. that you want and find places to do it, and you're almost forced to kind of butt heads to kind of get that aspect of the game. Yeah. And in a 3 or 4 player game, that's just going to come naturally, just because of, okay, well, I want to maximize my cards, so I also want to try and hit people, because that's going to get me a lot of points that way. But that's more paint tokens that are going to be on the levels, that it's eventually you're going to run out of spaces to go to play your cards, so you're going to almost be forced to move up. And yeah, I love that aspect, and production quality is fantastic. I always love 3D, 3D aspects to board games. So, what do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, pretty well covered it. It's pretty straightforward. I mean, it's pleasant. Very simple. You don't have to overthink it. Mm-hmm. I mean, I did freeze a few times, mostly when you're just trying to map out your potential moves and whatnot. No, it was a really fun game. There are a lot of different modifiers.
Yep. The modifiers are over here. That are either going to change the rules or give you different aspects of scoring. Mm-hmm. So there was one you got. Let's see. Level color tokens on the top are worth 4 points instead of 3.
Oh god.
Or there was one where it was scoring, it's 2 points for each sweet token.
Where was that one?
Or boundless color, 1 point for each color token on an edge or corner space.
Oh, cool.
So you have all those, and then there was one where it's nudge, you can climb up to a space with another player's marker.
Oh, okay.
And they just
you can't be blocked.
You can't block people.
That's cool.
So yeah, there's a bunch of different scoring ones, a bunch of different rule ones, and you just shuffle these and put 3 out. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a fun, straightforward game. A nice competitive aspect that isn't too bloody.
Right.
Yeah, I don't have much to say.
Yeah,
it was cute, fun. Yeah, I'd play again. Very easy to get to the table. The setup doesn't seem too intensive aside from assembling the board.
Yeah,
which you seem to do with relative ease.
Yeah.
So
pretty quick. It's not loose or anything, so it's not okay, well, this keeps falling out. No, they notch pretty well.
Yeah, and it's stable enough that even if you do bump something, it's not going to totally obliterate everything.
Yeah, and Kat, what do you think?
I love it. I think it's so fun. It's so cute. It's definitely one of those games that you don't have to be worried about explaining to anybody. Because I know sometimes people hear okay, we're going to play a new game. It's called Holi. And you're
oh god, this is a worker placement game or something.
You don't know what you're going to get, especially with the box. You're okay, all right, just judging by the art. It's really fancy.
I love that box art.
So beautiful. And then you set it up and you're okay. And then you actually start playing and just the idea of I'm throwing paint. It's
casting shade. No.
Yeah.
I'm throwing a weapon. But
it's a rock covered in paint.
Just a ninja star.
Put your rock tokens on the board. Stun your opponent with a rock in the face.
Okay, you can't move this turn.
And then you're picking up little candy as treats, and it's cute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think. Well, what's also intriguing is the theme. This theme, to my knowledge, is not covered in any game. And it's a pretty cool festival idea that when you look at pictures on Google of what it is, it's it's all this neon bright colors, and just people covered in powder and colored water and stuff. That
and it's time. Yeah, they said it's a time for forgiving and forgetting and celebrating and just being happy.
So I think that's a pretty awesome pretty awesome theme that should probably touched on more. I mean, you could make more games with this kind of theme. I think in exploring other countries' festivals is something that should be implemented a lot more. Either in a serious setting for a game or in a colorful, fun one like this one. And I think they just hit the nail on the head with it. In terms of comparing this one to their other one, Sagrada, which is also kind of that puzzly, still on the same vein, but with dice and making stained glass. Which ones do you guys prefer?
It's been a while since I played Sagrada.
It has been, yeah.
But I know you won with broken windows, so I could never get over that. So
I burn it whenever I see a copy.
That's fair.
Yeah. Let's see here. What was your question again? Sorry.
Which one do you prefer, Sagrada or this one?
I mean, this one's so simple and straightforward. Sagrada definitely had more of a contemplative, stress factor and a touch of random that was, really kind of threw you through a loop. This one didn't have quite that.
Yeah.
No, this would be a lot easier to bring to the table for a more casual group.
That's true.
No, if I was feeling a little more serious, I'd go for Sagrada. I mean, if I was playing with Marcy Nimber, I could play with it. Young kids could play this one very easily. This is a good family game.
That is true. That is true. And I think
it's very fun.
So it depends on the company, really.
Right. And I don't know where.
It's ages 13 and up, if that's what you're looking for.
Oh, yeah, I was looking for that.
It's over there.
Oh, okay.
Shoot, I think you
can go younger than 13.
Absolutely, yeah. Because it's just...
Because you don't have to play with these. These are what make it complex. Those are completely optional.
Yeah.
So you could just play the standard game if you are playing with someone younger. And you don't have to put out 3. You can put out 1. So you have you can put out 4 if you want to, just to increase the difficulty of the game. If you're like, well, this is kind of too simple. But no, I think this is fantastic. Kat, which one do you prefer?
This one.
This one?
Yeah, I like Sagrada. I still really like it. But this is just I don't know if it's because it's new or what, but it's colorful. It's colorful. It's light and it's pleasant.
Yeah. And I think because you were like, oh, hitting people is the way to go. I mean, I think it was mainly just because you guys didn't hit anyone. You hit me once and twice, and that was it. So it was one of those things that it's like, okay, you guys were getting 10... Someone was getting 10 points for this. You were getting 10 points for the sweets.
Right.
So I was like, okay, I should probably try to hit you guys, not for so much the points. So we kind of went the 3 different strategies in this particular game. But also, I was trying to... I'm like, I got to knock you guys down somehow, and there was a negative point each time you guys got hit.
Yeah, it's an interesting concept because it kind of... I don't know, like a risk reward, I guess, because it's because if you're staying on the low level later, you're kind of being punished, because you're getting low points. You don't want a lot of your paint on the bottom level. You want to move up as fast as possible, but then if you move up, then it's kind of hard to speckle your paint.
Yeah,
I mean the best way for a consistent point gathering is hitting other players because it's always worth 3.
Yes.
Right.
And then with this little
not
modifier,
always, but yeah.
Well, a direct hit was 1 point
them.
plus a 2 point at the end game.
Right.
So in total it's 3, and then with this one they also lose a point. So that was more of a consistent gather.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I liked it because it's
because I think your strategy will change based off the type of scoring and rule cards that come out. Because it's like the -1 point, that kind of gave me more incentive to hit you guys. Because I'm like, well, I'm definitely not winning on the bottom row for the 10 points there. And you just jumped for sweet. So I'm like, all right, I'll hit you guys.
Yeah.
And make you guys lose points as well.
But also not being fettered with I got to collect sweets, or I got to paint the bottom row. And so that's what hurt me is I wanted to paint the bottom, and I was like, I wasn't going to keep up with Kat. And I think that ended up to being both of our detriment.
Got a little aggressive, yeah.
And the way that they have the sweets placement, it also kind of it kind of makes you want to stick around. But if other people start moving up, it's like I need to start moving up.
Yeah.
So
yeah, because they keep the sweets in places where it's near other players, especially at the beginning of the game. It's like, okay, so you're kind of incentivized to jump near someone, gather sweets, and also hit them at the same time. But
I don't know, with a lot of the card layouts, it was really difficult to actually hit someone right next to you.
That's true.
Because a lot of them go off diagonals, especially these cards are definitely the best because you get to place 3 versus the others, which you only get to place 2 because you have to be in one of those locations.
Right. But you only get to place 2, but you have the versatility of being in any one of these, and you can move it. Whereas the other one, there were times where I'd have one of the flower or the star ones in my hand, and I'm like, shit, I can't play that because of where I need to go to try and optimize where I place. And if I do play it where I'm at, it's just going to fall to the bottom, and that's kind of a waste of my my paint if I'm all the way at the top. So yeah, this game is not, I mean, it's gateway-ish, but it has enough depth to it that you're not sitting there like, wow, you're just kind of going through the motions, you know, like a lot of gateway games do, or filler. And those are always a pleasant surprise, especially for me who likes deeper, you know, heavier Euro games, where it's like, oh, let's play a gateway game, and I'm like, it's like, okay, so I play this, roll dice, okay, I did that, I play this, roll it, like, and here it's like, ooh, okay, I have these 3 cards, okay, how do I want to move? And you have the freedom on your turn as well to be like, oh, I'm gonna move up and then play my card. You don't have to go in order. You can play a card to surround yourself and then move up. And like kind of you can like kind of even move to the corner and be like, oh, you can't hit me, like, or potentially can't.
Oh, but I can.
It's like, oh, but I have the corner one, the really good corner one, so you're screwed. Yeah, and I think it just gets better with more people. Like 4. It'd be all over the place. Like he'd be up to the 3rd row almost immediately because like that first row would get
fills
covered
up quick.
Yeah. So I will say that it's kind of a negative. Like it's playable at 2. It's still fun, but this one was just with 3. It was so much better. But once again, you kind of do have that. Someone's the middleman. Someone's getting hit more than others. And with 4, it would most likely be an even number, and you would just still have...
It would probably be...
But like in a different point mod, there'd be no negative ill feelings to it.
True.
I mean, it's only with this modification that we even had any ill feelings regarding it.
And it's like, I didn't even care because Devin kept landing in my paint, and I'm like, good, keep picking it up. Yeah, I think it's fantastic. Floodgate does it again. They're just... I mean, their only flop was Cosmic Colonies. That was them as well. That was the Polyomino space one that we played.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was them. But other than that, like Sagrada and their expansions for Sagrada, this one, Vault Wars and News at 11. They did another one with about trees and placing leaves from trees called Bosk. Or Bosk, probably Bosk. I have not played that because at the time that came out, we were playing Photosynthesis, and I'm like, fuck trees, I'm so done with this. But yeah, they're great. So, do you guys have anything else on this?
I don't think so.
All right, on a scale of 1 to 10, Kat.
This game, I can't remember what I originally rated it, but I think I gave it a 10 because...
Did you give it a 10?
I think so.
I don't think you gave it a 10.
If not, I gave it a 9. I'll give it a 9.5. It is so light, so teachable, so drinkable as well. Like, it's not hard to understand. And even if it is... Even if you're like, wait a minute, if I place this here, where does it go? Oh, under it. Okay.
It's so quick.
So easy. Yeah. The cart's very simple. I love that. I love being able to, like, not watch our friends have a stroke as we're trying to teach them rules. And knowing that we can play this with really anyone. Like, this is a game for everyone.
I can't believe you guys tied.
I think that's funny.
46.
Out of all the variables, I think that's great.
Right.
And stuff like that. It's fun. I love... Did we talk about the miniatures?
Not really. That is kind of a negative. This might only be from the Kickstarter. The molds are kind of lame.
They are. Mine just looks dirty.
Mine looks like a melted crayon.
They're so plain and just not... They're hefty, they're nice material, but...
I mean, they don't show wax. The crocodile doesn't look too bad, but I think that the shading on the wooden tokens kind of give it more depth.
Because there's actual paint on it. This one's... It's like the Cobra's cool, like it's got texture on it, but it's...
If these were painted kind of like in this style, I think they'd be a little bit better.
So that was my only one negative. That's why it's a 9.5 and not a 10.
And not a 10.
But yeah, that's what I'll rate it. I'll give it a 9.5. It's really fun.
Devin?
I liked it. It was pleasant. I will give it... I'm torn between 8 and 9. Like, it was fun. Easily bring to the table. Easy for all groups and ages and such. I'm going to give it an 8.
An 8?
I had a good time. Yeah, it was a good game.
Yeah.
Definitely above average. I like how it explores new concepts.
Yeah.
8.
I mirror you, Devin. I'm going to give it an 8 as well. I think... everything you said mirrors new concepts. This kind of 3D tier is really good. Just enough depth that you like playing this game isn't going to be the same way because of the rivalry cards, so I very much enjoy those. I always like the random, what's the new way to score this game, or some... I like that they didn't just do scoring cards. And they did something different. In Sagrada, you have the tools that help you, like, oh, you can place a die anywhere, or you can change a die, or you can spend points, like those marble tokens. They're worth points, but you can spend them to do the ability, which I like that for Sagrada. I'm glad they didn't do that here. I'm glad it's just, hey, here's a slight minor rule change that doesn't make it any more complex, really. It's just, oh, at this time, at the end, if it falls, you pick up a token. That's super digestible. And then just the different ways of scoring instead of just your regular ones. I think it's great. So, yeah, I completely agree. I'm going to give it an 8. So, that's our thoughts on Holi, everyone. Let us know what you think of the game in the comments below. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you. Hey everyone, thank you for watching, and I really hope that you enjoyed the video. If you would like to see more of my content, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell to be notified whenever I upload any new content. If you feel like supporting the channel, you can go ahead and click that Patreon link to be taken to my Patreon, and any help is truly appreciated. Other than that, stick around for any other run-throughs or reviews or cool top 10s or whatever I feel like putting on. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.